14-year-old Alina's stomach twisted with a pain sharper than any wound. The torn beige shirt hung loose on her thin frame as she dragged herself down the cracked sidewalk. Every step felt like walking through quicksand. Her backpack, filled with nothing but broken dreams and useless scraps, weighed heavier than her future looked bright. The golden glow of Mama's kitchen drew her like a moth to flame. Through the glass windows, she watched steaming plates dance past laughing customers. The smell of fried chicken and fresh bread made her knees buckle. She pushed through the heavy door, her voice barely a whisper above the dinner rush noise. "Please, sir. I can work. Wash dishes, sweep floors, anything you need. Just one plate of food." The words tumbled out desperately, her hands shaking as she spoke. The burly owner looked up from his register, his face twisting with disgust. "We're not running a charity here, kid. Get lost before I call the police. I'll earn it, I promise. I'm not asking for free." Did I stutter? He stepped around the counter, his massive frame casting a shadow over her. "Out, now." Two customers in line snickered behind their hands. "What a pest," one muttered. The other laughed cruelly. "Look at her begging like a stray dog." Their words hit harder than fists. Alina's cheeks burned with shame, but she forced her chin up. She wouldn't let them see her break. Not here. Not like this. She turned and walked out, each step echoing with their laughter. The hunger gnawed at her insides, but something else burned brighter now. Determination. Her father had taught her that giving up was the only real failure. Today wouldn't be the day she failed him. The sound of metal clanging and frustrated cursing stopped Alina in her tracks. Across the street, a sleek luxury sedan sat with its hood propped open like a gaping mouth. Four men surrounded the car, their faces twisted with confusion and irritation. The oldest mechanic, gray hair slicked with sweat, slammed his wrench down in frustration. This thing should be purring like a kitten, not sitting here dead as roadkill. A younger mechanic, in clean coveralls, shook his head. "Maybe we should call a tow truck. This is above our pay grade." The third man, a black mechanic with strong arms and calloused hands, wiped his brow with a dirty rag. "Boss man ain't gonna be happy about this delay." The boss man stood apart from the others, his expensive suit and polished shoes marking him as the car's owner. His face was red with anger, and his voice carried across the street. "I've got a meeting in 20 minutes. This is exactly why I shouldn't trust neighborhood shops." Alina's trained eye caught what theirs missed. Even from 30 feet away, she could see the loose ignition wire dangling like a broken promise. The serpentine belt sat slightly off its track, just enough to cause problems. Her father's voice echoed in her memory. "Engines talk to those who listen, kiddo. Most people hear noise. We hear stories." Her empty stomach growled louder than her common sense. Before she could stop herself, the words escaped her lips like a prayer shot into the wind. "Excuse me, can I fix it for food?" The four men turned as one, their expressions shifting from confusion to disbelief to outright amusement. The silence stretched for exactly 3 seconds before they erupted in laughter, so loud it echoed off the buildings around them. The older mechanic slapped his knee, tears forming in his eyes from laughing so hard. Did this little street rat just say she can fix a V8 engine? Sweetheart, this isn't some toy car you push around a sandbox. The younger mechanic leaned against the car, grinning wickedly. "Where's your toolbox, princess? Hidden in that ratty backpack with your imaginary mechanic's license." But it was the black mechanic who delivered the cruelest blow. "Girl, you probably can't even lift one of these wrenches, let alone know which end to use. What's your plan? Blow on the engine and hope it magically starts?" The owner stepped forward, his designer shoes clicking on the asphalt like a countdown timer. He looked Alina up and down as if she were something disgusting stuck to his shoe. "Listen, beggar girl, I drive a car worth more than most people make in 5 years. You think I'm going to let some homeless kid with dirty hands touch my engine?" Their laughter felt like acid rain, but Alina stood her ground. "I'm not joking. I know what I'm doing. One meal. That's all I'm asking for." "You're starving because you're useless," the owner continued, his words sharp as broken glass. "Cars need skill, education, training. not childish fantasies from someone living on the streets. Alina's throat tightened, but her father's lessons burned stronger than their insults. I learned from the best teacher anyone could have. I've practiced on engines since I was 8 years old. I can help you. The older mechanic's voice dripped with sarcasm. Practiced on what? Abandoned junk in some scrapyard? This is precision engineering, not backyard tinkering. Her stomach betrayed her with a growl, so loud it cut through their mockery. For one brief moment, uncomfortable silence fell over the group. Then Alina raised her head, meeting each man's eyes with steel in her voice. Give me one chance. If I fail, I walk away hungry and you never see me again. The owner's grin spread like poison across his face. All right, beggar girl. You want to embarrass yourself? Go ahead. But when you fail, and you will fail, don't come crying to us. You asked for this humiliation. The 4 men stepped back, forming a circle of judgment around her and the broken engine. Their arms crossed, smirks plastered on their faces like masks at a cruel carnival. They expected a show, and they were about to get one. Alina approached the engine with reverence, her small hands surprisingly steady as she peered into the mechanical heart of the luxury sedan. The heat radiating from under the hood felt familiar, like coming home after a long journey. She could almost hear her father's gentle voice guiding her. Don't rush, kiddo. Let the engine tell you its secrets. Your ignition wire is loose, she announced, her voice gaining confidence with each word. And the serpentine belt is off track. That's why she won't turn over. The younger mechanic snorted. Lucky guess. Anyone could say that. But Alina was already moving. Her fingers worked with practiced precision, disconnecting the ignition wire and examining its connection point. Years of watching her father, hours spent in junkyards learning from broken dreams, all led to this moment. She reseated the wire properly, then turned her attention to the belt. The black mechanic's smugness began to fade. Wait, she actually knows what she's doing. The older mechanic squinted harder, watching her small hands work with shocking expertise. That's the correct placement. How does she know that? Alina ignored their whispers. She adjusted the belt back onto its proper track, her movements confident and sure. Every motion told the story of countless hours spent learning her father's trade, even after the world had taken him away from her. Try it now, she said simply, stepping back and wiping grease from her hands. The younger mechanic slid behind the wheel, still wearing his mocking grin. He turned the key, expecting nothing but embarrassing silence. Instead, the engine roared to life with a purr so perfect it sounded like mechanical poetry. Silence fell like a curtain across the repair shop. The perfectly running engine hummed its victory song, while 4 grown men stood frozen in disbelief. The owner's confident smirk melted away, like ice in summer heat. The black mechanic let out a low whistle of respect. The younger mechanic's jaw dropped so far it nearly hit the steering wheel. But it was the older mechanic whose reaction mattered most. His weathered face had gone pale as fresh snow, and his voice came out as barely more than a whisper. Who taught you to work like that? Alina clutched her backpack straps, her voice soft but proud. My father. He could make any engine sing. He taught me that cars have souls, and if you listen carefully, they'll tell you exactly what they need. The old man's eyes narrowed, something flickering behind them like a memory catching fire. What was your father's name, child? David Carter. The name fell from her lips like a sacred prayer. The wrench slipped from the older mechanic's fingers, clattering against the concrete floor like a gunshot in the sudden quiet. He stepped closer, his eyes searching her face as if looking for traces of someone he once knew. David Carter, he repeated, his voice cracking with emotion. I never met him personally, but every mechanic in this city knew that name. They said he had golden hands, could bring dead engines back to life like some kind of automotive magician. His voice grew softer. What happened to him? Tears threatened at the corners of Alina's eyes. He got sick when I was 12. We couldn't afford the treatments. After he died, I had nowhere else to go. The transformation was instant and complete. Every trace of mockery vanished from their faces, replaced by something deeper, respect, shame, and understanding. The owner cleared his throat awkwardly, reaching for his wallet. You fix my car. You earned your food. He nodded toward the diner across the street. Get her whatever she wants. Put it on my tab. The older mechanic placed a gentle, grease-stained hand on her shoulder. You carry your father's gift in your hands, girl. Don't ever let anyone make you forget that. He paused, looking directly into her eyes. Come back tomorrow. We'll teach you everything we know, and you'll never go hungry again. As Alina walked away with a warm meal and a brighter future, the old mechanic whispered to himself, David, your daughter just made us all better men.